hate this question. I don't know.
Best advice I was ever given. My goodness.
So some people give really shitty advice.
I don't know, I feel like I get a lot of advice from just different people. Oh, this is so hard.
I think it's hard for me to choose because I have a lot of people that speak into my life.
This isn't like necessarily advice, but I guess it just can apply to things.
During the entirety of the 4 years that I was in high school, I had an advisor. We refer to him as Mr. Hannah, and he gave a lot of valuable information and advice for us as we were growing up.
Young rep, my very first year, so I think it was summer going into 7th grade, Carrie Shawn and Jeff Draper were up on the lecture stage talking to us, just giving us a brief, orientation speech.
And I remember one time he told me 2 separate pieces, but they were together. First, he told me that obviously you miss all the shots that you never take. And I thought he was referring to basketball or anything like that. There's certain opportunities that are presented towards us that we immediately realize that this is like, oh, this would benefit us in the future, right? But there's also certain things that we can also do. Let me use an example.
One of the last things that Carrie said that has stuck with me to this day and will always stick with me, she said something along the lines of you probably don't know this yet for those of you that this is your first year, but the people that you meet in this program will be your lifelong friends. And I was like, okay, cool, great, thanks, Carrie.
Following what he said that you're a famous term that's your net worth is your network. And he told me that when I'm older and also in the position that I am right now, sure, it's nice to network in events such as career fairs and other things because you're expected to network with people. So yes, you should be actually going out and talking to those people because the relationships that you will be creating won't happen if you don't do it. Hence what he's saying, you're going to miss 100% of the shots that you don't make.
Literally within by the end of the week, I had a solid group. I had Kate Baumann, Serena Singh, Sarah, you, Kathleen, all these people.
You should also try to network outside of those events as well, because there's always the situation that presents itself that you could actually learn about somebody and their career and how just getting to know them, it could actually benefit you in the long run or benefit them in the long run. A lot of my friends were actually doing accounting before I actually got into it, and I was actually you remember, I first did theater and then I went into tech and now I'm in accounting. And we went through different paths in accounting, but now I know through having that discussion with them about their career aspirations that if I ever wanted to go into their fields or if they want to go into my fields, we have that bridge and I can definitely connect them to some names.
And then we started hanging out outside of Young Rep and doing all these fun little activities. 7 years later, we're still friends, and apparently one of my friends told me this a while ago that there's a statistic that if you've been friends with someone for more than 7 years, that you'll be friends with them for the rest of your life. So I'm okay, great, that's good to know. That's what I thought of.
So those 2 lines or one long line would have to be the most important piece of information or advice that I was ever given by someone.
That's a hard question. Probably it was my mother who used to give me a lot of advice, but I'm not sure.
Something that comes to mind.
I have no idea.
So much good advice in my life. Do I take the advice? Not always.
I suppose hang in there is a good one. There are times in life when things get difficult, but don't get discouraged. So hang in there because they'll get better. Something like that.
Something my grandpa always says, which I think is really cool. His life motto is always look like you know what you're doing.
Probably to be just generally confident. And if you tell yourself that you're awesome and pretty and cool and everyone likes you,
just go into new situations with confidence and, you know, pretend like you know what's going on, even if you don't.
even if you don't believe it at first, eventually you do.
Fake it till you make it, basically.
That's probably something that I use every day. Tell myself I'm a super cool bad bitch.
A combination of advices that I've been given is the like never stop learning, always keep training. One of our clown teachers was like, when you can't come up with anything creative, like then train. And for him, training is like doing handstands, because that he's like a acrobat clown, which I was like, I can't do that, so I'll just do nothing. Jeff Draper always says like never stop taking classes. And when I've ever felt creatively stagnant, I'm not doing anything different, you know, and then I'll take some whatever class and I'm like, wow, I feel like completely just like uplifted and totally want to do something creative, you know.
I have an answer for this. I have an ex-boyfriend who is one of my best friends, and he was gay, realized it while being with me. We like didn't speak for like a year and a half because he was very like, I need space. And I was very like, no, but that didn't work out for me. When we did reconnect, his mother had recently died, and I think it changed his outlook on things, and he wanted to be my friend again. And this is too much info. God, that's okay. He won't care. So I'm going to keep talking. Anyway, we did acid. That's what I'm getting at. We were doing acid for the first time, and we were painting on something, and it was so pretty out, and I could see cats everywhere. Like I would look up at the skies and I would just see cats. I don't know what I was trying to do, but I was trying to draw something specific, and I messed it up. And I was like, oh my God, I messed it up. Oh my God. And I started freaking out, and he grabbed me by the shoulders and said, AJ, make it work. It literally was like an awakening. I hear his voice say that. Like I'll be in life, every time I get anxious or every time I'm like, this isn't the way that it was supposed to be in my head, I'll be like, AJ, make it work. And then I make it work.
Or another like non-arts related thing is like take a walk. When you're frustrated or can't like finish the scene that you're trying to write or trying to memorize or whatever, or you're just like stuck in your home or depressed or tired or any of those things, like just take a walk around the block and like clear your mind. That everyone says that, so I can't quote a specific person. The world.
Well, I feel like one that has recently been stuck with me was by Brittany Baumann. She recently just told me, because I was kind of contemplating more on like future and stuff like that, and she just told me, you know, regardless of where you are, know that you will always have people who love you, and that you will have like a place anywhere you go. So kind of like go forth and kind of figure out what you want to do in your life with that in mind. Know that like you have a place to always come back to, kind of, which was really cool. And I was like, that's true. I was like, you know, like as much as I was like, oh, like I don't know what I'm gonna do next year, like where do I want to be, it was kind of like regardless of whatever decision you make, like life will still be okay. Like I'm still able to have people there for me. So that was really cool.
Hi! Thank you so much for watching if you've watched this far. New videos will come out every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern time, so do all the things. You know what to do. Like the video, comment, subscribe. I of course want to say a huge thank you to everyone who participated and everyone who you will see in the future that participated. And also a huge thank you to my friend Ian for making this cute music that's at the beginning and here. He's wonderful. All of his info will be down below. Anyway, I think that's about it. I'll see you next week. Yay! Okay, bye.
because everything's on Zoom, right? There's a lot of like famous people who, because they're just in their homes too, they're doing more things on Zoom. And so there's a lot of like, oh, like we're going to interview this famous playwright or this amazing actor, you know, or whatever. And they always ask that, like, what's the best advice here? And I'm always like, that's not like, because I don't know, whenever I'm watching someone being interviewed, I always think of like how I would respond. And I'm always like, that sucks. I'm sorry you have to answer that. But also maybe I should listen to more advice and remember it.